So what we talked about earlier was the fact that there's these things that you can do to have the secrets of an escort, and we talked about how great it was to look and feel, to look naked, and now you're saying, but wait, you're saying, wait a minute, I want him touching me. What's that about? I used to want him touching me and I couldn't wait to rip my clothes off when I was 25, and now I'm 35, 40-ish. He's looking at me funny and I'm like, no, I've got a headache, sweetie. And if he agrees with you to never have intercourse and be celibate for the rest of your life, you're like, yep, I'm down with that. We'll take care of all the other stuff, but the sex part, yeah, I don't need it. What changed? What happened between age 25, when you thought I was the hottest thing in wherever, and you like looking good naked, to now where I don't even want you to touch me?
Yeah, what happened?
And so the short answer to that, the hook, if you will, is your hormones went south on you. Your body kind of stopped treating you with the respect you got treated out when you were 25. Here's what. At 25, you got lots of raging hormones. They're not quite as raging as teenage hormones, but the hormones are such that they give you that thirst for life. They give you libido. They give you the ability to multitask. They build muscle mass. They make your vagina soft. All of those things are true, but for the purpose of this thing, this discussion, your libido.
What's libido? I hear the word all the time.
Okay, so libido, how do I say? Libido is that sense of that willingness to want to be sexually active, that desire, that push, that urge to want to have sex with somebody you really like or care about. That's libido.
Okay.
When it's high, you could do it anytime, drop of a hat, anytime, anywhere, any place. When the libido is low, then you're like, why am I doing this? I don't really want to do this. I'm tired. There are more important things for me to do. I gotta fix the kids' dinner. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I got a headache, etc. So libido matters in terms of maintaining the bond that you need in order to keep your life rocking sexually in your 40s and 50s. Libido is all that. There's some other things that are governed by hormones because it's all hormone-based. It's biology. It's not politics. There's some other things that libido is also associated with is brain fog and multitasking and some other things that we'll talk about, I guess, in a future podcast.
Yes.
But these things are all governed by your body's hormones. And there are two big ones that matter for us in terms of intimacy, sexuality, and couples' well-being. Those two big ones are testosterone and estrogen. Now, we think of estrogen as the female hormone. Mm-hmm. It just so happens that women have more estrogen than men, but we both have estrogen.
Okay.
The other
so men have estrogen?
Some small amounts.
Okay.
Because estrogen does some really cool things that men also need that we can talk about at another time. The other big hormone is called testosterone. We call that the male hormone. Uh-huh. But men have much more than women do, but women also have that hormone. And it turns out in women, that hormone drives libido. So when you've got good testosterone levels in your 20s and so forth, that is what drives your sexual desire, your libido, if you will.
Okay.
The other thing to be mindful of with estrogen is that it also plays a role in your willingness to want to pursue intercourse, because you could have all the libido in the world. If it's hurt when you try to have sex or get busy, you don't want to do it. Estrogen controls the vagina in a way that makes it not hurt when you have intercourse. And we can talk about that.
Okay.
As you leave your 20s and move into your early 30s and mid 30s, the levels of the hormones estrogen and testosterone start falling. First they fluctuate and then they start dropping. When estrogen levels drop, one of the big things that happens is the vagina starts drying out. When the vagina starts drying out, it becomes kind of scrapey. When you have intercourse, it starts being first uncomfortable, and then it quite frankly starts hurting later in the game. So if the vagina is hurting, you don't really want to be having something big up in there. That's part one. Yeah. Part two, when your testosterone levels start dropping, your desire for intercourse, your receptivity, your availability to have sex also falls down. And if you now have decreased libido and it hurts, tell me how interested you are in doing sex.
Yeah, not that much.
Yeah, not that much. So what do you do when that starts happening? Because we've had women come into the practice late 30s, early 40s, like, I like my husband, I love him dearly, I like what he does for me, I like what he does for my family, I like how he cares for me, I want to really take care of him. He wants sex, it hurts, I don't really want it, but I do it in order to keep him happy.
Well, that's not a good attitude to have.
But as a woman, I really want to be able to satisfy my husband. So what do? Once you start having those things, noticing those feelings, Mimi, the right things to do is to start getting with a qualified, competent, well-trained, well-educated physician, doctor, who can help you understand what's going on with your hormones.
Well, you read my mind, because that was going to be my next question. What do women do to get their libido back at the levels that young escorts have?
So first move, find a doctor that specializes and understands reproductive health and menopause.
Okay.
That's important. That's really critical. Second, get your symptoms evaluated. Because remember, outside of things like coercion and sex trafficking and sexual assault and all those things, we're not talking about that. We're talking about you in a relationship that's safe, that's secure, that you're not with a narcissist or a psychopath or somebody's trying to kill you. You're in a normal relationship where he respects you, you respect him, and you want this to rock. Get with a provider that understands reproductive health issues. Get your symptoms evaluated. Make sure there's no psychological stresses or strains on the marriage, which can also impact how you feel about your husband, or how he feels about you, for example.
Oh, yeah, and that can be for another episode as well, I think.
Thank you very much, and we have just the expert you might be wanting to talk to, Mimi. I'll share with you next time.
Okay.
Once we've ruled out all of the ancillary issues that could be at the root of your lack of desired intercourse, your doctor professional, these are usually gynecologists or specially trained urologists, people called urogynecologists. Sometimes menopause specialists can do it. We can start looking at physical examination, ruling out other things that can be the cause of the low libido. And then once we rule those things out, we can start zeroing in on the core things. One is, why does my vagina hurt when I have sex? That has to do with estrogen levels. We can look at that. The second thing is, why don't I have the desire? We can start with a questionnaire, we can look at your symptoms, and then we can check your blood levels of testosterone, of estradiol, of some other things that can be relevant, like your thyroid hormone and so forth. And what we usually end up with, most of the patients in our practice end up having very low testosterone levels and very low estradiol levels. In that setting, when those hormones are low, we can start looking at how to replace them. And it turns out, you can replace the hormones that your body used to make in your teens, 20s, early 30s with exactly the same biochemical molecules that used to power your life back in your 20s and 30s. We call them affectionately bioidentical hormones, but what we mean is that exactly the same chemical structure of the molecule for the testosterone, for the estradiol, that used to power you before, we can replace that. And we can talk about that.
Well, that sounds amazing. So I think that we have a pretty complete set of answers for some of our questions, but definitely leave a question in the comments if you do. We'll try and get to all the questions that we can. So please leave a question in the comments, like and subscribe, and thank you for watching Mimi and Doc Talks.
Let me basically also say that this is not a DIY activity. This is not a do-it-yourself. Do not go online and start researching testosterone and estradiol and replacing it. Find a qualified doctor who knows about menopause, menopause treatment, reproductive health, who's able to identify all of the ancillary peripheral issues that can contribute to the symptoms that you're having before you start getting treated.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And again, like and subscribe. Leave a question in the comments. Thanks for being with us here on Mimi and Doc Talk.
Nice to see you, Mimi. We'll talk again?
Yes, good to see you, Doc.
All right, bye-bye.